What up? My name is Kaz Hazel, owner and founder of Empower Coaching, and I work with hardworking lesbians and allies through the 3R framework. And I really wanted to talk about my journey because this weekend I'm in Tampa, Florida for a 5K race. And it all started because I went back home to California in October and I grabbed my sister's shoes and I just felt like running, sound like fucking Forrest Gump over here. But I just went for a walk, and there was something about that day where I was like, I just really want to pick up the pace, and so I started to do that. And then I got home, and then I went to her class, Orange Theory, that she teaches at, and we did that class together. And she always fucking puts me in the running part at the last part. And every time I do it, I'm always like, fuck, I hate it. But it was always like that little piece of like a reminder that I failed my fitness test in college back in, I went to school 2012 to 2016, lost my career in the year of 2015 junior year, 2015 junior year. And I was really messed up mentally. And I was telling my dad on this trip when we were out doing some stuff today. And I was like, I just can't believe my mindset today compared to where I was in college is like completely different. I used to be a super negative person, and that was because how I was raised, with my mom constantly negative Nancy and never taking ownership. And so that was a thing for me. I never took ownership for my actions. I never said I was the fucking problem, because at the end of the day, it's always you. You are the only person that is holding you back and not like looking yourself in the mirror. And so taking ownership, taking accountability for like, if I want something to change and I want to start feeling better in my skin, I'm gonna have to do something about it, right? And I think that's for a lot of people, it's like, I'd rather not actually deal with the thing here. I'd rather put the fucking blinders on. I'd rather say I'm doing more workouts and I'm doing more perfect meals and not deal and feel. Because who wants to actually deal with emotions? Most people don't. And that was me. So what did I do? I picked up the fucking bottle and did that way. And, I told my dad today, when I was in high school, another thing that I don't think a lot of people know, but I used to smoke these like little cigars. They look like cigarettes, but I'd buy those. And that was a coping mechanism. I just wanted to feel something. I also like self-harm. I used to cut my wrists. And another reason why I got a tattoo, it was a Bible verse. I'm not like going to church or anything. I do believe there's a God, but I don't think I need to go to church to do all that. And so I had a Bible verse on my left wrist as a reminder, like, to not cut. And, I did the cigars, I did the drinking in high school, but it wasn't as heavy. It was more of the self-harm. And all of this stuff, like, you never want to actually deal with it. And, this weekend there's so much more to it than just, like, beating my fucking dad. And it's all competitiveness. Like, we're not like being mean to each other or anything, so we're just competitive. And I like that we have that relationship. Not everybody can have that with their parents. Some people don't have relationships, and I know that's super hard because I don't have one with my mom. But I chose that because that's toxic and there's only so much I can take. But today is just like October 25th, 2025, sorry. I started. So back in California, did that. And then my dad was up for a visit a couple weeks later that he came out just to see Holly and I. And I told him, I was like, dude, I want to get a pair of running shoes. Like, I want to start this journey. And he was like, okay. Like, we went into the Dick's, no longer Chicks. Come on now. And so we went to Dick's, bought the shoes, which they're right here. And I remember taking that video. It was like, this is the journey where I'm going to start showing up for myself in ways that I didn't before. It was always like talking about, I'm doing the things. I'm showing up to the gym. I'm eating healthy. And let's be real. How many have said, I want to be more healthy, but you don't actually know what that means, right? So we just fucking talk about it, but we don't have any action steps or intentions with it. So when I got those shoes, I started to run more, and there was another opportunity that came up that was presented. Somebody reached out to me and was like, hey, do you want to do a 5K in Boonville? Boonville was my 4 toxic years of my first teaching job and coaching job. I learned a lot, but I hurt a lot. hurt a lot more than anything, and it was in my marriage. And Holly, I'm sorry how that was, because I know that you kept telling me to leave, but I couldn't let go. I couldn't just say fuck it and be proud of who I was, because I wasn't confident in my skin, and she knows this, but I wasn't confident in my skin, and so I thought I was a failure if I just walked away. And I know that now my wife loves me. I love myself so much more because I said no more. I'm not going to tolerate that. We stay in situations because it's comfortable. And that's what I did. It was comfortable. It felt safe, only because when I say safe is because we had a paycheck. I didn't know what else I was going to do with my life. There was no purpose anymore. There was no why behind it. And that's why we talk so heavy about why do you want to achieve these goals? Why do you want to be a better person, right? And so when I finally was just like, oh, I was like a weight lifted off. And so when I was asked to go back to this town to do a race, I was like, this is fucking personal. Like that town, I got arrested, not for a DWI, even though people thought that. I got arrested. Yes, I was drinking and driving, but I won my case in being a peace disturbance. And when all this went down, it was super toxic, and that was one of the reasons why that town wanted me out of there. They had an opportunity, and they're like, we can get her out of here by having her resign, because my boss told me, he's like, if you don't resign quietly, I will make your life a living hell and not be able to get another job somewhere else. So that scared the crap out of me because I needed a job. So I walked away quietly, and when I went back here, this is actually my 22nd birthday, and I did everything leading into this race. I hadn't ran a race since I was probably 10 with my dad. And so that was the beginning of this journey of running again and loving myself and not going out and proving it for somebody else. Or like in soccer, it was like, that was my identity. Soccer was all I knew, but I didn't know anything after it, right? And so when I did this one in Boonville, I was just like, I want to show up in a way that I've never showed up before, but to know that you didn't fucking break me. You didn't take away anything from me. Yes, I struggled, but now I'm coming back stronger than ever. And so this leaning into fitness, but getting more clear of why I'm doing what I'm doing and how I'm doing it and how I'm showing up goes on a deeper level because I know my why. And that's why when I work with clients, it's so much more impactful than other coaches out there when they say, oh yeah, this is what you need to eat, this is how you need to work out, and this is how you need to be more consistent. And listen, yeah, you need to be more consistent, but we also need to get aware of what is the actual fucking problem. And if we can't get aware of the problem, we're gonna always start over. So you can go to several programs and go try and work with other coaches, but if they don't understand you and your behaviors and patterns of how to coach you through that, that's not your fucking coach. And I've had plenty of coaches, and there's some coaches where I'm like, that really stuck with me. That really hit home for me. And I thank all the coaches that have taught me something. I'm not saying the coaches out there are terrible. What I'm saying is if they cannot truly make an impact to help you have a better life, longevity, that's not the coach to work for. I know what it's like, and I understand you because I've lived some of the experiences in some type of regard as a hardworking lesbian, right? And so when I went back, I fucking crushed my race when it was November 27th, my birthday, and I just felt so much joy. I'm just like, I did the damn thing. I showed up. I prioritized my mindset because everything about running is a mindset. If you don't focus on that, you already lost. So that's why I'm saying, like, if you don't understand why you're doing what you're doing, let's flip the motherfucking script. We always focus on food, workouts, and then mindset's like, it's nowhere there, man. It's not even existing. And our 3R framework is all about mindset, food, then workouts, but it's reclaiming, reconnecting, and regaining your power. In soccer, I didn't have that. I lost. I became disconnected. In the teaching job, I became disconnected. So many things. Who was I? What was I doing? Why was I doing it? I didn't fucking know. I didn't love myself. And for you, you probably don't love yourself and you don't understand why you want the things. You talk about a surface level goal of like, I want to lose 30 pounds. Well, why? Ask yourself 5 times, like, why do you actually want to? And peel that motherfucker back like some onions and getting more clear and more specific, okay? Understand, be aware of you. But what I want you to really do is love you. And once you can start to love yourself in this process and just start showing up in ways, it's going to be a lot more, it's going to be so much more different than when it was in the past. And, you know, being in Tampa, I am very, very fucking excited. I can't stop smiling from like ear to ear because I have so much support, but support from people that like support me for who I am. I'm not putting on a fucking mask, and that's what I did for years of saying I was this person, and like it was always the soccer person that people knew as, but it also was like the teacher that was the coach, or like I got the name of hard ass. One of my bosses did call me a hard ass, and I'm like, yeah, I am. I took that as a compliment, but actually I was mean. I was, and I can totally take ownership for that. Now there was some kids that got the worst out of me because the things that they said I couldn't let go. Like being called a fucking faggot, being called a fucking lesbian bitch. And yes, I am those things. But the tone and the way that the disrespect was, it just always like, it was like another dab, or another stab at my chest. And I'm like, like this is why I feared for so many years, like in high school and then in college, to not come out and say who I was. And this race tomorrow is to just show up as my true authentic self, but show up in ways that I know the younger version of me needed. And you as a queer person, if you're watching this right now, that you know that you need support too. You need love, but you also just want somebody to see you and accept you for who you are and not judge you because you love the same sex or love whatever it is that you love. You just want to be validated. And that's what I want. I want every person that I come encounter with in my coaching program or in like my school community to feel seen, to feel supported, to feel empowered for exactly who you are. Because that's going to make a huge difference versus like, yeah, let's go do a fucking workout. And you know, the more and more that this journey begins to go down the rabbit hole of like 5K races and high rocks in the future and so much more, I just truly want to make an impact in my community where, again, younger self needed that. Because let's be real, there is not a whole lot of gayness when it comes to the gyms. When you walk into a gym, it's more straightness. And there's nothing against straight people. But sometimes we're already anxious, we're already overwhelmed, we're already stressed out because we're already fearing that people are looking at us. But also you take it to another level and you take it as a queer person. And I'm gonna be honest, I've not ever really seen people wear their pride clothing into gyms. Why would you make yourself more of a target? And I do that now. I wear my Stronger Together or my Lesbian Lounge or something with pride that I am proud of who I am. And you motherfuckers aren't gonna make me feel otherwise. Because everybody's gonna have opinions, everybody's gonna have thoughts. I used to get in fights at bars because I wasn't confident in myself. I didn't love myself. So here's my thing for you to take away from this little piece here. When you're dealing with assholes and bigots or whatever you want to call them, they're so jealous and mad and upset that you get to be who you are. That you actually love yourself and you're not shrinking or doing anything. You just are living, L-I-V-I-N. No, just kidding. You are just being you. And people want that. People want to be so happy. And yeah, you know, the definition of the fucking dictionary is happiness. Happy. And yeah, when you really love you, you fucking just, you like brighten up a room. My wife does that. She is literally the light of my life. And we've been through a lot of shit. But she's always the person that's just, she lights it up. And she's obviously lit me up. And if it wasn't for her, I don't know. I don't think I ever would have started this brand that I built. But she believed in me. As I'm getting emotional. She believed in what I was doing. She knew I could make an impact, and she saw the stuff that I did as a teacher, but this is completely different in the coaching that I do today. And the messages that I've been getting going into the race tomorrow it's so cool. I didn't think I would have that. I didn't think that my running journey was going to make an impact where people are like, dude, you're such an inspiration, and like, thank you. And being more in gyms, I want to help as many queer people. You know, I work with hardworking lesbians specifically in a coaching aspect of like your coaching and individual stuff. But I want more people to feel like they can do the thing that they want and to not care about what others think. Because again, people will always say something about you. And you have to have the fuck them kind of attitude. Let them, as Mel Robbins would say, just let them be them and show up in your authentic self. Don't shrink. Don't do the things. Go do the damn thing, as I say, and love the journey. Okay, and I hope that this message that I'm getting across to you is all about believing in yourself, overcoming and stepping into the uncomfortable situations, and like not letting fear hold you back, because that's what fear did for me. It held me back for years, and there was like all of this anger and resentment just like building up to where it came out on people, and that's not right. And I want you to know I struggled. Like, I'm gonna be real honest, I struggled, but you don't have to. You don't have to struggle for as long as I have. You can join on our journey inside the social medias that I got from Instagram, TikTok, or if you're like, I want to be a part of your community in school, if you're a hardworking lesbian, come on. Like, let's grow together and do the things, because you deserve happiness, to feel confident in your skin, but also supported around like-minded people. It's Mom's Race Day, and I'll be talking about it more on some mini little episodes like this, but I appreciate, again, every single person that has supported me. And if you're not even a client, but just supporting in general, that are my allies, thank you. Truly thank you, and I really appreciate it.